Hello everybody, I am text-to-speech bot Matthew, filling in for Brian Mullins the Fox. Well, since he's finished doing all the math, going over each annual centerpiece meat consumption and waste statistic, he's given me the opportunity to explain this all to you. Let's let Brian himself go over a huge clue, even though it also applies to roast turkey as well.
So here's one big prominent clue to why the roast game happened in the first place. Throughout the late 80s into the rest of the 90s until 1997, you'll see why ham was getting thrown out and not even consumed at all after being purchased more and more often than being consumed. 1997 was just the breaking point before the roast game era even occurred or commenced. Maybe people got tired of roast ham, maybe because they had something better in mind as an alternative. And that leads to the roast game itself.
Now, here's the rant. That isn't the only clue, there's another one as well. This time I'm saying it. This whole time, 5 things lead up to the roast game. 1. Lack of competition and variety that made the competition what it was before 1960. 2. The duopoly of turkey and ham, 1961 to 1997. 3. For some, these meats became too expensive. 4. For some, these meat choices didn't really taste as good as they want them to. 5. They learned from famous cannibals like Jeffrey Dahmer and Albert Fish how to get away with it in many ways. 8. They learned how to get away with murder in the most mundanely legal way. B. Not only does the murderer get to eat Christmas dinner with the family ate with the murderer innocently. All the while, having little to no problem doing so without intimidation. C. Not to murder them publicly. D. Not to try to cover it up, because covering it up backfired badly for Dahmer and Fish. E. Let all the decomposing human matter decompose on their own, within the uncontrollable nature of the situation. And this was all prior to November 17, 1998, a day that I consider a breaking point. Not because it's close to Black Friday. But, there were a lot of other things that happened as well. On an unrelated yet odd note, on November 16, 1998, the Jim Henson Company and Hallmark Entertainment, already partners in television ventures, took over 45% ownership of the Odyssey Channel, according to the New York Times. In August 2001, Crown Media relaunched Odyssey as the Hallmark Channel, and much of the Henson programming was discontinued. It was at this point, literally or not, that it was not about life as we live it anymore. It was pushed down your throat, day in and day out. At that point, Muppets were demonized and fed the imaginations of those who believe in something similar to the Satanic Panic. Muppet is an insult originated from the 70s or 80s when the show was launched, right around or if not after the time in the pre-roast game era that hams and turkeys were being consumed less and less and wasted more and more. But all of that didn't really have the influence it had, until that very day, on November 16, 1998. The next day, other Christmas Carol movies, be it theatrical or direct-to-video, blew up and became a hot trend around that time. This was coincidentally, or not, in conjunction with what will undoubtedly be the greatest and longest bloodbath for the dumbest of reasons, for not believing in Christmas. Now when you think about all of this, who or what do you really think is special in the end? Nobody. Now, I've just explained what leads up to the roast game era. I will tell you this. Between December 26, 1997 and November 16, 1998, this time period will be what I'd consider the calm before the bloodstorm. Brian Mullins the Fox will present a much deeper analysis of the roast game era, not just with the statistics, but the overall theme and environment at the time. That's why I use that unrelated example as a hint at the ever-growing, yet indescribably toxic and religious environment at the time. Not going off on some retarded rant about satanic Muppets telling kids how to accept the unholy nasty. There really was no reason turkey or ham was wasted more than they were consumed right before the roast game era. I'm text-to-speech Matthew, filling in for Brian Mullins the Fox, signing out. Thanks for text-to-speech bot David, for filling in the missed numbers as they appeared on the screen. Thank you all for watching this series, ever so carefully. This has been Christmas Dinner, Series 1, Pre-Roast Game Edition, 1900 to 1997. Goodbye.